Hi guys, Dorothy here. Today I'm going to talk about the new moon in the sign of Gemini and some additional things that we have going on for the end of May. So stay with me, I'll be right back. All right, thanks for joining me here today. I'm Dorothy, Professional Astrologer. I've been an astrologer for over 27 years. So if you don't know who I am, come to my website, nhastrologer.com, and check me out. I teach classes, I do sessions, and lots of free content like this. Today, we want to talk about the new moon in Gemini, which is on May 25th. It's at 3:44 p.m. East Coast time. But I want to go back a couple of days because what I discovered, and just looking for this report, is on May 22nd, the moon is in Aries, it's conjunct with Venus, and Venus is coming to make a solid square with Pluto. It makes the Venus and Pluto make an exact square the same day as the new moon. But on May 22nd, the moon comes through that sector, activates this Venus-Pluto square, right? This is now, Venus has finally done her retrograde shadow phase too. So when we have this going on, there is a need to break free from control, manipulation. We want to be self-sufficient and independent in our relationship in some way. Now, this is all going on at the dark of the moon, which is that phase before she's new, and that is about going within. When Pluto is involved, Pluto is always about deep inner transformation. Now, I know this is a quick hit. Venus moves fast, the moon moves fast, but this is a trigger and something that's initiating action. We're looking for some action to be initiated now because squares create enough tension where we notice them when we need to do something, right? Just like unbuttoning your pants when you've had a good meal and your britches are a little too tight after that, you got to unbutton just to give you some relief. Otherwise, it hurts. That's the tension of a square. You've got to move through it. You have to take action. It's important. So that's what's going on May 22nd to May 25th on the new moon, 4 degrees of Gemini on May 25th. This is where we have an opportunity to shift what we're communicating. So we need to communicate, or like I said in the title of this lecture, this talk, is or a failure to communicate. Which is happening for you? What side of the scales are you on with that? So you'll have to decide. But what we need to do with this new moon in Gemini, and what comes up for most of us, not every single person, but for a lot of us, is how we are communicating, listening, socializing, getting out and about and moving around. These are all Gemini qualities that we all embody in one way or another, and the new moon and these other transits are pushing us to really add that to the mix. And the reason I'm focusing so much on this relationship, because Gemini is all mostly, it's significantly about talking, and I'm a Gemini, see? It rules the hands and the lungs, right? So I'm going to do that. But anyways, it's more about socializing and doing these things. But since the beginning of the year, we have had Jupiter in Libra, which has been really, and that inflates everything. So it's really inflating our need for relationships and the relationships we are in, personal, close friendships, business partnerships. All of these qualify as relationships. It's not necessarily acquaintances, because this feels a little deeper than that because of Pluto. It has been opposite Uranus off and on throughout the year, and will again later in the year of 2017. And so that is highlighting the fact that we need our own unique independence. That's that Aries energy. So we're feeling this all year long, and even with Venus retrograde, she was in her shadow at the end of January, and she just gets out of her shadow on May 19th after being in the shadow, retrograde, and shadow. An evening star to a morning star, so that makes her more assertive too. So to me, this is why I'm talking so much about relationships right now, because that's the underlying theme with the new moon in Gemini. Now, this new moon in Gemini, again, about communicating and opening up to what the potential and what's possible there. All right? I do have a written forecast on my website. The link is in the box on YouTube. There should be a box if you're on YouTube. There's a box right below it. All my links are there. And if you're on my website, just go to the forecast page and you can read this. And there's more details there. I've got a few more dates and things all written out. It's less than 1,000 words. It's easy read, okay? So go check that out too. Or be on my email list, because you know, every month I pick one person to win a free 20-minute session if you are a new subscriber to my newsletter. So come check that out. All right, so I wanted to tie this all up and just let you know that relationships have been just such a big issue throughout the year. And now with the new moon in Gemini, let's set some goals around really communicating as best we can in those relationships, especially listening. We'll get through this. This isn't that difficult. Venus moves into Taurus, her own sign, on June 6th. Thank you, thank you. That gives us this beautiful opportunity to actually stabilize the things that have been feeling rather edgy since January. All right, so I send you love and blessings. Thank you for watching. Please share this video because I love doing these things and I'd love my stuff to get shared a little more. It has a limited reach, and I'd like that reach to get bigger. Please subscribe if you're not a member. That way you will be notified when I put new videos up. And I will leave you with that. Thank you very much, and blessings and namaste.